We interrupt this regular scheduled program for a Newbie Mountain Bike Club news flash. Yes, Scott Higgins of Newbie Mountain Bike Club will attempt to ride an e-bike with a group of roadies.
Welcome to my channel, Newbie Mountain Bike Club. I'm Scott. Thanks for tuning in. It's good for you to see me again. We're going to try to answer the question about electric bikes today. We're going to have some fun with it, but also do a little work, and you'll see this will be a little different. You're going to see me put forth some effort here on an actual bicycle. So I'm looking forward to it. Newbie Mountain Bike Club. Let's do it together. Are electric bikes cheating? You want to know. The whole world wants to know. The universe wants to know. What is up with these electric bikes? They seem to be growing everywhere I look. Somebody has an electric bike. Are they cheating? Are they capturing times in Strava routes and King of the Mountains competition and winning things they shouldn't be winning? Are they opening up a door for people that wouldn't normally be able to ride? Are electric bikes helping people achieve their bicycling dreams that they thought were dashed long ago because they didn't have the legs, they didn't have the lungs, they couldn't go longer than 3 miles. Now they can go 10 miles, 15 miles and ride for an hour. And will these bikes be accepted on group rides? Are they sneered at and are they shunned? And should they be shunned? These are the questions we want to answer. And we're going to do it in a different kind of way. We're going to go out in the field and figure out what's going on here. Permit me first to talk about road biking in general, because this experiment I'm going to do is with an electric road bike, and I'm going to go out in the field to a group ride and see how I am accepted. A mountain biker rides an e-bike on the road. How's that going to go over? But road biking has its place in the mountain bike world because they do tend to transfer over. You're building legs, you're building lungs, and when you're riding on the road, you can sometimes maintain a higher heart rate. And mountain biking, though, you're using your whole body, you're learning skills, and that translates better to the road. So they complement each other. But the benefits have gotten less over the years because mountain bike trails are getting more technical. And it takes a lot more low crouching, a lot more ready body positions, a lot more standing when mountain biking correctly, and a lot less sitting. Used to be, years ago, you would just go from a road to the mountain, and you still be sitting. You would just go over dirt instead of road. But that's all changing now. But there's still a place. And if anything, when you get a road bike or a trainer like I've got here, what it'll help you with is the boredom, keeping things spiced up, keeping things exciting, having a change in routine. And it stays fun. And that's the whole point, is that it all stays fun. Because if it's fun, you'll keep doing it. So it has to be fun. Now, I'm thinking by that rationale, if it's all about fun and exercise, an e-bike would be fun. Or is it cheating? We're going to take a look at it and see, because I am going to try to do a metric century on an e-bike. That is about 62 miles. Hopefully the battery won't die. And I'll document this and we'll see how it goes and see how I am accepted and see if I can finish this thing, because I am not used to riding 62 miles. I don't generally even ride 40 miles. I haven't in a long, long time. I'm more of a mountain biker, and I like to kind of give it my all for 15 to 20 miles. Now, I have found that most people are skeptical of e-bikes until they ride one. And then they're, wow, that was so much fun. They get this big old grin on their face, and they're talking about how much fun it was. Well, really, you won't know until you investigate or you ride one yourself. But if I can do this experiment and kind of show you and talk you through what I'm going through, maybe it'll help. So the question is, will the battery last 62 miles on the rolling hills of North Georgia? Will I be called a cheater? Will I be allowed to join the pack, or will I be scuttled to the side as a rebel? Or will people be intrigued? Will they be welcoming? Will there be other e-bikers out there? I don't know. We'll find out. Let's have some fun. Again, that's the key. Fun. Exercise while having fun, that's a winner. Well, it's kind of early. I got up early. Best I could. It's tough getting ready for these things. Here is the trusty steed here. The Bianchi Aria e-bike, or Aria. Pretty cool. I'm excited. Gonna have some fun today. Hi there. On my way down to, in my town it's called Lafayette. Everywhere else it's called Lafayette. But Lafayette, Georgia. Lafayette. To the Lafayette recreation area. Doing the honeybee ride. I am doing the metric century 63 miles. This is benefiting underprivileged youth in the rec area, the recreation area for Walker County. So it's for a good cause. Organized rides are pretty safe, fairly safe, because people are aware of them. We have support and rest stops, police officers shutting off traffic. Everybody should be aware we're here. Not that accidents don't happen. There have been large-scale rides where accidents happen because everybody does get spread out. Motorists do get impatient, and I understand people getting impatient. I've been buzzed before where somebody's gotten too close to me. It seems like they do it out of spite sometimes. It'll probably never change, but it can get better. It is chilly this morning. It is 47 degrees. On a road bicycle, that is cold. 50s are cold too, because on a road bicycle you tend to be out exposed a little more, and you average a faster speed. Mountain biking in the 50s, like 47 right now, and another hour to be in the 50s is pretty perfect. Low mid 50s for mountain biking is really good. I did some research last night on this bike, this Bianchi Aria e-road. Has a setting where you can adjust it by your heart rate. You adjust your heart rate, and it will give you enough power. When it senses your heart rate hits a certain level, it'll add more power. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty high tech. That's what the future holds. I mean, that is like, if you couldn't get your heart rate up high, that's incredible. It's just technology that will trickle down. All right, here is a closer look at the Bianchi Aria e-road bike, and there's also a standard version that is not an electric bike. Italian craftsmanship, Italian design, Bianchi, oldest bicycle manufacturer in the world. The thing has full Ultegra group set, and it's an aero road bike first, and then an e-bike after that. Let's do it.
Nice bike.
Thank you. All right, get in here. We'll have to just guess that I'm even in. All right.
All right, I'll do a little narration here. Try not to bore you too much. This is the first couple of miles. I haven't even turned the motor on yet on this electric bike, so I'm not even sure what it's going to do when I do turn it on. But here's the start of the race. Everybody's warming up, and I noticed just how fast and fluid this particular bike feels. And I know some electric bikes, they're heavier. You will have to, oh, here comes some fast guys up. Yeah, people like to move to the front. Now, one thing I learned on this bike is that you gotta check your ego. I was generally accepted by everybody, but if I had went up here and tried to pass these guys and get in the front on an e-bike, that would not be a cool move. So it's good for me and good for people on e-bikes to recognize that they're having a different kind of experience than a traditional road bike. And right here, I really would like to say thanks to, we got Georgia State Patrol, we got the city of Lafayette, City of Chickamauga, Walker County Sheriff's Office. All these helped make this event a great event. They routed us here through the Lafayette golf course, which was fun. Beautiful scenery, sun coming up through the trees. This is one of the joys of road biking and mountain biking, is the scenery that you get to look. It's always good to slow down a little bit too, and you see those guys earlier just passing, going to the front. I mean, it's good sometimes just to take an easier pace and and just enjoy the scenery. There was some geese out earlier on the path, and here we are. The group got a little bit ahead of me. I wanted to stay with some people, so I did turn that power on, and I caught right back up with them. So if anybody was an ex-road biker that could not hang with a group but had experience riding with a group, this bike would be perfect, because if you get dropped, which means people kind of leave you behind, and that means you lose the draft, and the draft is what's helped people go faster. You draft each other and take turns, so it saves you 30% of your power. This bike will help you catch up and get back in the group. Now I wanted to show this. That is a time trialist, probably an Ironman training, using this as a training ride. Here I am at, I believe it, the second level on this bike, 60%, and he blew by me like I was sitting still. So an e-bike is not a magic bullet to make you just super fast. Now up until this point, I was riding with a group. Sorry, didn't get it on video. There's a couple of guys I knew and a couple other people, and I had to get off my bike and stretch. I wasn't used to the fit of this new bike, so I had to get off and stretch. My knees were hurting. So they kind of went on ahead, and I said, yeah, well, I'll try to catch them. So coming through downtown Chickamauga, Georgia, this is my hometown where I went to high school. I grew up about 3 miles from here. A little bit about this bike. There are 3 levels of assist. You can have it off. The bike weighs 26 pounds, and it's very capable even right then, but it is heavy for a road bike. There's 3 settings though. There's a green level, orange level, and a red level when you have the battery button pushed. And the green gives you 30% assist, the orange gives you 60% assist, and the red gives you 100%. So it's multiplying your power. As I've already figured out on this ride when I was riding with a group, 30% feels like I felt when I was riding more often 5 years ago. I was 20 pounds lighter. I wasn't going to the gym, and I felt like I was having a good day. That's really what it felt like. But up on the ride up to this point, I was going between 30, 60, and 100, but my knees were hurting still, and I was like, how am I going to make it? So I kept checking the battery, adjusting my percentage, how much power I used, so I could save the battery for the full 62 miles. I wanted to have 50% when I got halfway done, or 55%. I definitely went to red, 100% assist on this. It's a pretty steep climb. Made a big difference. I still had to put some work in though, but it definitely makes a difference on the climbs. Now, sold one of these bikes to a customer recently. He rode an hour to work, an hour commute, and he rode it without any assist at all. A 26-pound road bike. He averaged 16.5 miles an hour. Now, and with rolling hills in Tennessee, that's pretty fast. So then he rode it using the power assist. He switched between 30% and 60%, never went to 100, and he averaged 19 miles an hour. So this bike in the right hands makes a world of difference. And he said he's going to use red eventually. He just he just doesn't want to. I use all I can get. What my average has been so far on the ride, but I feel really strong, really good. As far as muscle goes, again, I was still struggling with my knees hurting and staying seated. Mountain biking in general, it's very dynamic body position on the bike. You stand up a lot, you move a lot, you shift your weight a lot. And with road biking, you stay seated a lot because you want to be efficient. Here I am. I caught a group here, or we met at the red light, and real casual banter, talking about the bike. Everybody liked the bike. Everybody loved it. Couldn't believe it was an e-bike. It's so well hidden. Although I chose not to hide it, of course. I'm not. If I'd have just flown by them, they'd have never known. But they were really accepting, and we just chatted the whole time. And again, I've found that humility is the key. You've got to realize when you're on one of these things that you are having a different experience than they are having. You are being assisted. They are not having any kind of assist. So it's a different. You're on a bicycle. It's a different kind of experience. So the best thing to do is own it. I told everybody. They said, "Wow, that thing is beautiful." I said, "Oh, it's an e-bike," and just really promoted it. And just introduce people to this incredible new road e-bike. This is the future. It's road bikes with assist that do not look like road bikes. I will tell you this. I know somebody that they wanted to ride bikes. They built up their stamina. This was like 3 summers ago, from 3 to 5 miles up to 15 miles, and could ride an hour. And they took all summer to build it up. And then the summer after that, they had surgeries. And then the next summer, they couldn't go longer than 3 miles, 15 minutes. It took them longer to load their bike up and to get out to ride than it did to ride. It was very pressing and frustrating for them. So they bought an e-bike, immediately changed their life. They were going places that they'd never hadn't gone to in a long time, forgot about some of the scenery they had seen. So it changed their life. It made them fall in love with bicycling again, and it got them out to exercise for an hour. And they switch in between different levels of assist depending on how they feel. So e-bikes have a place. They are opening the door up to people. So hopefully that question is answered. And this person also says it is so much fun. All right, here we are exiting the Chickamauga battlefield. A beautiful, beautiful place, very bike friendly. I wish every city had something like this. All right, we are exiting the park, and there is a stop sign. And yes, bicycles are vehicles. They are required by law to stop at all red lights and stop signs, and are also required to be on the road. Illegal to be on a sidewalk on a bicycle. At the same time, they have all the rights to be on the road as a car does, unless it's an interstate or it's marked. They should not be there. This is one of the frustrations that motorists do have with bicycles. They do not obey the laws, and motorists see them not stop at stop signs, and they just come rolling through them. And then they just have this feeling, motorists have this feeling that bicycles think that they own the roads. And then when they get too abreast, too wide, and cars can't pass, instead of getting single file so a car can pass, it further builds that frustration. So if you're a cyclist, you're sharing the road with cars, do your part. Be a good vehicle out there, obey the laws, because a lot of these frustrations can be averted. Some of it is our fault. I am coming up close to the midway point. At this point, I'm checking my battery going, you know what? I've got good life left. So this bike's been impressive. How much battery life is left? And the battery usage. At this point, I'm thinking that this bike's the real deal. It is an electric bike. Not really a commuter bike. It's more of a really fast aero road bike with electric assist. And they do make more commuter style bikes. You can put bags all over them, and those actually feel more of the power. This one, especially level 130%, is very, very subtle. It just takes you back in time when you were stronger or you were having a great day.
There he is.
I lost you guys. Where was it? No, I'm just kidding.
That is not a V-bike.
It is.
It is. I had to stop and stretch, and yeah, my knees were screaming, man. Because I tried to fit this bike best I could, but I'll have to try to catch you guys in a second.
That's pretty.
Oh, that's awesome, isn't it?
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep. Now that is the regular version of this. Yeah.
Have a good ride.
Here we are, SAG stop, about halfway through. SAG, basically that means they give you free stuff to eat and you get to go to the bathroom and support. And Sea Rock City, infamous. And this is Blowing Springs Farm. I've got volunteers, just gave me a free pickle spear, which is good for cramps, pickle juice is. First impressions, well, it's a lot of fun. The only complaint I have is really about the fit, because it's not my bike, so I've got some joints hurting because I'm not used to it. But it's a lot of fun, and it does surprisingly well in the group. And also, I've got a good response. People really love it, and nobody's really giving me any dirty looks. But I haven't caught the fast guys yet, though. That's my goal now on the way back. See who I can harass.
Rock City Barn, Blowing Springs Farm. It needs a bit of a haircut. The sign says Sea Rock City, so you just got to zoom in and see it, and then you have obeyed the sign. And I am going to hit the road.
This is my old stomping grounds, as they say. Newbie Hollow Road, a couple of miles from the house I grew up in. When I was looking to get away and, exercising my freedom as a teenager, I went down and climbed this hill many a time. And I can tell you, I understand this group I'm catching right here, how they feel. I have done this many, many a time. And so when I go by them, I'll offer polite banter. Mainly I did tell them, hi, I'm on an electric bike, but I've been on this road, this hill, this climb many a time. I know how you feel, because I didn't want them to demoralize them thinking, here goes this guy on this bike, he flew by us. So again, I believe humility is the key when you're going to bring an e-ride to a group ride. This next section is brought to you by your local bike shop. This is exactly where I broke a Kmart bike years ago. I was climbing this hill and the top tube and the down tube broke away from the steer tube. Here I am standing flat-footed, holding the handlebars, only connected to the rest of the bike by the brake cables and the shifter cables. I was like, wow, I could have died. So again, get a quality bike from your local bike shop. That's what I highly recommend. Avoid, if you really want to ride a bike, avoid those market and big box store bicycles. Coming back into Chickamauga, super fast downhill, super fun, little short punchy climbs, but mostly downhill. And the bike, again, was aero first, lots of fun. I went back through Chickamauga on the way out, caught a couple of more guys. They were working real hard, doing really good, and chatted with them a little bit. Again, I was totally accepted. I explained what I was on as I was shooting up this hill. Now, at this point, I finally figured out the best part of this bike. It's when you put it in 60 or 100% and you stand up and climb. That's when this bike really excelled and when it was best to use those higher levels of assist. So the 30% was for just group rides. The rest of it, if I was by myself or climbing a hill, because I could really stand up and hammer and it felt like I was flying. It was so much fun. I know I had a big old stupid grin on my face. So somewhere along here, I started cramping up. At the end of this road, about a half a mile up, I started cramping. I had 3 hours in the saddle, not used to that much consistent kind of work, at least on this road bike. I was pushing really hard though, kept catching groups, trying to catch faster and faster guys. Then I realized when I caught these two gentlemen here and just how cool they were, that bicycling in a group ride, it's about the community of the event. And a lot of people get caught up in the ego. They want to be first and they want to beat the other person. And that's just not much of an experience. That's for races. You should go do a race. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to slow it down, enjoy my ride. So we had some incredible friendly banter, getting to know each other. So I think, man, there's no way with two guys this cool that I could just run off and just leave them. At one point, I thought I had one of them talked into swapping bikes. We had almost the same size shoes. I bet you if it wasn't this Corona scare, we might have just swapped bikes. I wanted him to try it out. So, but again, we went all the way to the end together. I helped show them the way because I know these roads. They were thankful I was there and I helped. They were hurting. Again, they were cramping as well. So having that conversation back and forth just helps the miles just go by and just enjoy everything. And so I think it was an incredible ending to a great day on a great bike. Mountain biker rides a road e-bike. All right, here are the finishing numbers. Almost 62 miles. 3.5 hours of moving time. I think the total time was 3 hours and 45 minutes, counting me stopping. 2,800 feet of climbing, and average speeds over 17 miles an hour, max 34. Heart rate, again, it climbed up to 162 at one point because I was pushing myself, but the average was pretty low, 128. So if you ever have an issue where you had maybe some kind of heart issue, doctor said don't get your heart rate up too high, this bike would be just incredibly efficient and just perfect for you. So there's the final numbers, and hopefully you can understand all that. This is from Strava, the app called Strava. I'll go into that at a different time about how all that works.
All right, it's been a couple hours after the ride, and I have to say I'm really surprised at how well the bike did, at how everybody was really welcoming. We just chatted with people just like a normal ride, and they loved the bike, they loved the color, and when they found out it was an electric bike, they were really astounded. Now this bike has 3 levels of assist. There's a button here, and the first level gives you 30% assist, and then you have 60% and 100%. What I found was that 30% is where I would have to be to ride comfortably with other people so I can maintain their pace. That's been my experience when a mountain biker gets on an e-road bike. I will get on an e-mountain bike soon and show you how that goes. But that was my opportunity this time. So that's it. I have to say, huge success and a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. So I guess that answers that question. Mountain biker can get on an e-bike and ride with roadies that ride all the time, and especially on an e-bike, keep up with them. So yeah, it was fun. So thanks for tuning in, Newbie Mountain Bike Love, and I'll see you later.